Saturday to you. I hope you're having a great Saturday and an amazing weekend so far. My name is Don Terrell, and welcome to another great episode of The Color of Motion, where I like to say, hey, stories come in all shades, and I highlight people of color and diverse backgrounds in the industry of motion graphics, animation, visual effects, cartoons, and comics. This space that I am just, aesthetically crazy about. You know that by now. You know the drill. Hop into the comments, say, hey, where you're tuning in from, while I make sure that we're broadcasting on all the episodes, on all the channels that we should be broadcasting on. It looks like we are. Wow, this may be a first. Let me see. Facebook, we are. All right. That's always the tricky one there. Facebook. Which I am excited about telling you we may soon be broadcasting live. I mentioned this before that I've been working on it, but we will soon be broadcasting live from our Instagram channel. So I'm excited about that. Again, like I said, hop into the comments, say, hey, where you're tuning in from. Need to give a big shout out to, of course, today's sponsor for the show, DG Graphics. They do all our graphics, animations, overlays, and all that good stuff. Basically, make our brand and our show look good. And if you're a business or a brand that's looking to level up your brand design, create engaging content, then you definitely need to reach out to them. So thank you, DG Graphics, for always sponsoring the show. Also, again, if you want to support the channel, which we always love, I always love a great cup of coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/Don Terrell. That will definitely help me to continue to create great content, bring great guests to you, the show, and, really level up the show and the content. So any way that you can support is always appreciated for sure. So again, buymeacoffee.com/Don Terrell. And like I said, I always love a great cup of coffee. Also, you can find us on some audio channels as well. We're working to get our audio portion growing. So you can now find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart Music as well. All those, typical audio platforms. For those of you that just want to listen on the go and all that. So we're putting up episodes on those channels as well. So download, review, that definitely helps as well. Like I said, we are here every Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, live through the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and the website and the Facebook group for the show. But I always encourage everybody to get plugged into the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, so that when the show goes live and great new content goes up, you'll be notified. So definitely would appreciate that. And we're so close to hitting our goal. We are going to do a special episode when we hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm just so close. We're like at 100. It would definitely help me to hit that goal. We should definitely be able to hit that by the end of the month. We should hit that way before then. But I can only do that with your help, sharing it and subscribing it and telling others about it. Mr. Ron, appreciate you stopping by and tuning in. Good to see you. I hope you enjoy the show as well. As always, Maggie, I appreciate you supporting the show. Everything's good this way as well. It's Holly. Got to say hi to Miss Holly Atkins from the UK. Awesome. All the way from the UK. I always say this is an international worldwide show. I can honestly say that about my show. It's an international worldwide show, and I cannot have done that or made that without you, the viewers, for sure. I think I got all the housekeeping kind of stuff out the way. But again, I cannot thank you enough for joining me and giving me a little bit of your time each and every Saturday afternoon. I was just talking before the show with the guests that I so love doing this, not only for the guests, but especially for you, the viewers, and you show up and you make the show what it is. So I can't thank you enough. Again, this is an interactive show, so please make sure you hop into the comments, ask questions of the guests, engage with the show. But with that, I think we're ready to get this train on the track and down the road. What do you say? And we're back. Oh man, I hope you're as excited, like I said, as I am about this because this is all about illustration, art, and characters. Something I love, love, love. So, without further ado, my next guest, he's a character designer and a 3D artist from Nigeria, currently living in Toronto, Canada, with over a decade of experience in animation and games. Growing up in West Africa, he was inspired by local stories, folklore, and everyday life, which shaped his passion for creating characters and worlds. Through self learning and persistence, he built a global career and has worked with studios all over the world, contributing to projects for companies such as Disney Plus, Netflix, BBC, and more. Today, he works across both 2D and 3D, focusing on character design, look development, and culturally rooted storytelling. Everybody, please help me welcome my very special guest and friend, Mr. Segun Samson.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah! Segun!
Oh man. Thank you for that intro, man. Yo, your
I tell
intros are
all my
always so
guests, hey,
cool.
we bring you in like the superstars that you are, and we want to treat you that way. So,
I
man,
appreciate it.
I cannot thank you enough for coming on and having just a great, fun conversation, brother.
Sure, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. We've been trying to do this for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's just a side story for everybody. He was actually scheduled for February 14th.
Oh
That was
yeah.
his first day. And then he comes back and says, "No, I can't do it because I forgot I had something planned with my wife." And I
Yeah, man. It's
totally forgot
Valentine's
it
Day.
was a holiday myself. So I'm like, "Oh man." Forgive me. So I
We're
appreciate
here now.
you hurrying up and rescheduling and coming back on, man. That was my bad
Sure
for
thing, man.
sure.
It's all good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thank
No,
you.
no, thank you. Like I said, we had, and I usually tell this of I guess we always have a show before the show almost,
Oh yeah.
but I always like to start out with, you know, asking my guests, was there any one particular thing that
Mm,
kind of ignited that passion to do character design or get into illustration?
mm,
I usually tell people for me, because I want to do comic strips, it was Peanuts. It was, Snoopy and
mm.
Charles Schultz. That was that one thing that just drew
Interesting.
me.
I think for me, man, it was I remember well X-Men. I think it's X-Men Evolution, the one with
Yeah,
the teenage X-Men. That show, man, that show stuck with me for a while. So I think that was what I was watching with my friends then, and I know I always drew my own X-Men characters, and of course Spider-Man, all the Marvel, DC, everything inspired me. I
yeah,
know comics was a big part as well. So
yeah.
X-Men and comics, that was what I think that was what started this whole journey for me.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, growing up, in Africa, in Nigeria, I
Mhm.
mean, did you have? illusion. Now you're in, obviously you're in Canada.
Yeah.
Did you see this kind of, did you see a future or any
Nah.
type of path that, would, okay, I can, this is something I could do here in Africa.
Huh.
Obviously we're seeing different things now. The industry's exploding, but
Yeah.
at that time,
Yeah. When I started, no. I didn't even know I had no idea it's a job, man. When I started, it was just for fun. But when I got into it and started like working with studios in Lagos at the time, and then working with studios in South Africa, I figured, oh, yo, this is something. And I know I was that guy that's always on Instagram, no, not Instagram, sorry, Facebook, reaching out to all the artists, man, just messaging everybody like, hey, I saw your name on the credit. I really want to do what you're doing. Yo, you have no idea how many people I did that to. So that I think that was where I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna pursue this thing. And it's funny, and I feel like we'll talk about it at some point. Now what, 11, 12 years after, I'm feeling like that again. Yeah, because I started wanting to get into the industry, got into the industry, and I forgot the hunger, man. I was not hungry to
yeah,
like really create again, but now
yeah,
I'm back there. So yeah.
yeah. Well, and we talked about this a little before the show, that kind of losing your little
Mm.
flavor as I guess you get caught up in the day to day
Oh
working
yeah.
and just get
Oh
the
yeah.
grind of getting things done,
Mm.
type of thing. Um, for you, you were through self learning and experience, but now, you know, you didn't go to any like formal school or anything like that, did you?
Funny enough, I went later, but I went like what, after 10 years of working in the industry. But I had a different goal, right?
Yeah,
My goal one was to just fulfill that feeling of like, oh, I went to an art school
yeah,
because I
yeah,
really
yeah,
wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it the right way. And I think the other side too was I wanted to know what the system is like and how I could actually um, help out, because I had a lot of like students, a lot of people reaching out like, hey, how did you do this? How do you do that? So I wanted to
yeah,
understand what the system is really like.
yeah, yeah,
So I did a short diploma, I think 16 months, super intense 16 months, just to get a feel of the whole thing. And I love it, man. It
yeah,
opened my eyes to the beauty of self-learning. There's
yeah.
nothing like that.
Well, I think in continuing that, I think that's a lot of thing artists sometimes kind of lose of just
Yeah.
going back and just taking classes. Cause I want to go back and start doing actual life drawing classes like I used to do in
Nice.
art school and things
Nice.
like that. So just those
Yeah.
things of going back or just trying something to
Yeah.
sharpen your
Try something new.
skills and learn
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, like, there's so many paths to this industry as well. Because I was doing character design, I was doing 3D modeling, but I never really touched animation. I was like, oh, I'll just take a course on animation, but I
Yeah,
still don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I did it, but I'm like, yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But I did it just to get the knowledge. To
Well, I say that a lot. You'll quickly figure out what it is that you
oh yeah,
enjoy doing and don't enjoy doing.
and I
But you
had
brought
like
up,
new. Yeah,
go-
sorry, I was gonna say like I have new respect for animators now
oh
because
yeah, yeah,
the amount of
yeah.
patience, man. Yo,
Oh, I do a little, video and like video and video shooting and stuff, like
right,
shooting talking head videos and stuff like
right.
that. But I tell people I've gotten a whole new respect for directors and actors having to repeat shots over and over
It's the
again and
whole
just
thing.
the whole process of doing it. So you get
Yeah.
you get
Oh yeah.
definitely get a whole new
Oh my.
respect of that.
I remember
Yo, X Men was amazing. X Men Evolution, just all of
changed my
X Men.
life.
Yeah, X
It,
Men was an amazing thing for
yo,
sure.
it was
Mr.
so good.
Ron, another Peanuts fan. I always can appreciate a kindred spirit. Like I said,
Nice.
Peanuts was my jam there. Um, Growing up, was it hard finding kind of that community of other like kids and creators that enjoyed what you did and were interested in kind of what you were doing and what you want to do? Was it hard finding that
Hmm.
community?
Growing up, I mean, starting out, yes, it was. I remember I had just two friends that we really locked in, and we're doing that. It was just the three of us for a minute. but then we discovered the Nigerian comic industry, and we're like, yo, there's a comic industry in Nigeria.
Wow. Yeah.
Yo, it was like
You're right.
light bulb moment. I'm
Everybody
like,
is.
wait, I'm like, what? So we figured out a way to just get into that community, man, and it's a whole world. And we
Yeah.
saw other crazy people like us. So yeah,
Yeah. I
there was a
think
community.
that's been the beauty of part of the beauty of this show is, and we talked about this, before the show,
Uh,
is the amount of African creators that I have connected with and had on the show. It's just like you said, you hate saying it because it's almost dismissive. Like, of
mm,
course, there's African creators, and I'm sure you're saying that, and a lot of African. That's what they're saying. We've always been here. We've always been talented.
there are a
Just didn't
lot.
know about it. But
Yeah,
just the amount of talent that's coming out and that's there, it's been refreshing to see.
it's it's crazy because there's so many talented people. It's so funny. I have one of the frames on my back. I have a artwork of one artist. I've been trying to search for him now. Maybe somewhere out there somebody can help me. His name is Segun. Actually, is actually my namesake. I remember this guy is one of the best draftsmen I've ever seen, and I've done this for like 12 years now. I've met
Mhm.
people, but this guy, oh my god, he has this. So you know the way what's the name of this artist? This artist that passed away, that does a lot of drawing from memory. Kim John.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
what's
yeah,
his name?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't think of his name, but I know who you're
yeah. I
talking
don't know.
about.
So,
Yeah, it's
but yeah,
Japanese guy.
like
Yeah,
that artist, I know someone in Nigeria that honestly is way better than him, which is crazy to say. But this guy is insane. You know how crazy the markets is in Nigeria? I don't know if you've seen photos of like the
yeah,
market square in Nigeria.
yeah.
It's
The
it's
market
it's
squares.
madness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like think New York Times Square, but in Lagos. So it's like crazy. This guy draws the whole thing in less than
yeah.
like
And
30,
that,
40 minutes.
and I guess that's what I love about, like I said, this time, because I guess
Whew.
this time that we're in, obviously the internet, you're able to see and get connected. But
Yeah.
there's another guy, uh, and I can't remember if he passed
Mm.
or if he might have been the one that the Japanese one that just passed, Kim Jong Ji. Yeah,
Yeah, Kim Jong-ji,
Kim Jong
yes.
Ji. And there, I'm guessing it's him, but he would
Yeah.
draw in perspective
Yeah.
the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
whole thing from
Yeah.
just different. And I'm like, holy mackerel, my
Yeah.
talent
I
is
know.
just,
I know someone like that,
you
man.
start to see though the
Whew.
talent that's out there that's just not even seen, which again is
Yeah.
the mantra of this show, is to give people, exposure that you don't normally would see that are out there
Yeah.
doing some amazing
Thanks for
work,
doing this, man.
you
Thanks for
know.
doing this, man. Like it's so cool to like be on this and actually just watch through the interviews you've done because it actually reminds me of, where I'm from, how I started, why I actually started because it's so easy to forget.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so easy. So thank you for doing this, man.
No. So, I mean, for you, because I know what it was for me, I will say for me, as far as part of my training as far as computers and 3D and stuff is self-taught. I didn't go to
Mm.
school for that. What was the toughest thing in your self-learning that you kind of, had to kind of work through, you know?
it's so it's so funny. When you said that, I just remembered that I actually got my first tablet. I don't know when I got it, but I remember when I got it, I tried using it. Bro, I couldn't use it for like 2 months. I just put it away and I stuck to my mouse. I stuck to my mouse for a minute because I'm like, I'm I was faster on my mouse than my tablet. But
Oh,
later I
wow.
had to like because I had to like just learn it again and just figure it out. At the time, I don't even know how many artists had tablets.
That
Again,
was,
my
yeah.
small community. There were larger communities, but the ones I knew, not everybody had tablets. We're all using mouse to paint. I know it
Yeah.
sounds very alien now to people, but yeah.
Well, I still tell people I can't use. I don't know how some people do it. I guess they're really good at it. But I've seen
Mm.
some people use a stylus and a tablet doing 3D, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't do 3D with a stylus. I have to have a mouse, a 3-button mouse, even though you can obviously set your thing up. But it's just
Yeah,
like
man.
some things you need a mouse for. You're just better with a mouse. I think.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
know.
think transitioning to like drawing on a tablet was the hardest thing, if I remember, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
That was that was a pain.
Tell me though, because this is one thing I found has been kind of a common thread, especially with obviously a lot of the African creators, is
Right.
the access to resources
Oh
and
yeah.
just being able to get just the things that we take kind of for granted over here
Yeah.
that we can just grab,
Yeah.
even something as simple as power type of
Yeah.
thing. So I mean, what are your thoughts as far as just the things that would need to be done or taken
Mm.
care of in order to make it a
Whew.
mainstream type of industry?
That's a lot, man. It's a long list. But I think
Like
just
your
to
top two.
simplify it,
Yeah, your top two things that you would think these are the top two things I think should be focused on in order for, you know, not only in Nigeria but Africa as a
mm,
whole, the
yeah.
industry.
I think I would say for Nigeria a lot because I don't know so much about other places. I know for Nigeria and maybe Ghana, but for Nigeria, we one thing I think we really lack is a place to actually just freely create
Hmm.
and a place that has all you need to create. Because I go to the libraries here, just libraries. These are not art libraries. These are just libraries.
Library.
They have like Photoshop. They have all the things that you could use for free. They
Yeah.
have 3D printers. They have books and art book corners. I'm like, yo, I don't know any place in Nigeria you could see these things. I remember growing up, and I think it's still like that, which is crazy. I never got the current issue of a comic ever.
Mm.
I always get like I remember the first comics I saw was maybe like 1993 in 2018
Wow.
something like that. So it's
Wow.
like I
Yeah.
never followed. I mean, there's some privileged people that could get like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
recent comics. Things has changed now, rise of like digital comics and all stuff like that. But getting like the actual hard copy comics was it was crazy. I remember the store where I used to buy comics with my friend. We're gonna work. This sounds very African, but it's the truth. We used to work for like maybe an hour or two to go to the store to get the
Mm.
comic. And this woman will always look at us like, why do you even buy this thing? I just saw it in the bookstore when I was buying books and I just put it there. I didn't know you guys like it. So she literally stocks up our bookshop the comics just for us. And she has no idea what the titles are. She just has it there, and she know these two kids will come to buy these comics. So
Wow.
that's how I started reading comics. But till now, I don't know. I don't know anywhere you could go read free comics in
Mm.
Lagos, which
Wow.
is really sad because I feel like
Yeah.
places like that help inspire people.
Yeah.
It helps people to
Well, I
just
mean, not to get because this isn't a political show or anything
yeah,
like that, but obviously governmental funding and backing plays a
oh
big
yeah,
role in how an
oh yeah,
industry goes. I mean,
yeah,
is that something that you think will ever be? Because from the outside, I can't see how, because Africa's got so many different continents, countries within or
countries, yeah,
countries
countries,
within
yeah,
the continent. They got so
yeah,
many different countries within the continent that are working individually, as
yeah,
opposed to like it is over here, just one government that runs the country. Do you think
yeah.
that's what it's going to take, or do you think collectively it's a possibility
I don't
that
know, man.
separately the countries could work together to make the industry as a whole? Or do you feel
Oh,
like there's going to have to be some kind of governing body over the industry,
I
over
feel like
Africa, the industry?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I've tuned out from what the systems are like back home. But I know things are like getting set up and all that. But the truth is, it's still even if we have those things now, it's just in a very tiny region.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not everywhere. It's not like like how many comic stores are in Nigeria? I don't know.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, let's just go as low as that. How many comic stores? I don't know.
yeah. Probably
I
not
don't know if the
many.
government are gonna do anything. I don't think it's a priority for them, honestly. There's so many other things we need fixed, if I'm being honest. Like
True.
I don't want to
Uh,
get into that, but yeah.
True. We're gonna throw this up here, Mister Al Cabalan. I need you and a guest to touch on Black Creators Fund created by African Development Bank, $1 billion. Trying to help you out. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I have to
I
check
don't
that out. programs. I mean,
Yeah.
for uh as you see it now, because we this is another thing we kind of talked about before the show of
Yeah.
just this time of independent creators. Do you think that's gonna all or kind of play in the fact that well now you got a lot of creators even within Africa, outside of Africa that can readily get their content or easily get their content out
Yeah.
there. What are your thoughts on this time and period that we live in being a
I'm
creative?
honestly, I'm super excited about it. I feel like it kind of gives room to more opportunities for sure. But the truth is, it's still just a few people. You know what I mean? Like I feel like so many super talented people still don't have some opportunities to even get into this whole indie. They have no idea. Just want to draw,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But I think it's a step to something beautiful again, because then creatives don't have to go through this long hoop to get your story out there. People are reminded, hey, just get people interested in your stuff, build your community, and just start creating stuff. You don't have to wait for nobody.
yeah.
Like for myself, I've been trying to put together pitches, jumping around different countries, trying to pitch stuff. But I've gotten to a point where I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna find people that like this stuff and just start creating this stuff, man. I'm not gonna try to prove to anybody anymore. You
Well,
know, like
I think that's the thing. You got people, you got creators that are just they're putting their content out for the love of it, and people are gravitating for it towards
yeah,
it. Like you
yeah,
were saying, you're starting to see a lot of the bigger studios, especially with streaming
yeah,
platforms and all these platforms we got
yeah,
now. They're searching for original
yeah.
content.
It's definitely changing. It's definitely changing, and I hope it stays that way. And just have more people tell their stories and more different variety of projects. And not everything looking the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're starting to
Yeah.
see more of that. When you sit down to, develop and flesh out a character, what's your process? Is there a process of how you
Ah,
go
yeah,
about
yeah.
doing your look development and fleshing out a character?
Uh, yeah, it's always different, right? So if I'm working on my own project, honestly, 90% of the time I just draw and I backtrack and I'm like, why did I even draw this? What was I thinking about? If I'm being honest, that's how it works for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Then I start writing a story out of that. But my brain has been thinking of different things. It could be something I've seen that's inspired me. It could be just watching conversations like this. My brain just start going somewhere. I just start drawing. But if I'm working on client work, I think my process is always get as much information as possible from wherever I'm getting information from. If it's a writer or a director, I'll like try to like get what they want
yeah,
this character to do. Say like, where's this character from? What kind of attitude do they actually have? If they're like a clean character, then their
yeah.
outfits and stuff will be clean. If they're dirty, then it should show in the designs or things like that. Like I try to really bring personality into my designs a lot. So that's like the biggest thing for me. It's like, what is the story
Well, has
of this?
there ever been a character that you got that it took you a minute to figure out,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh
this,
yeah.
okay, this is where this character is coming from?
Yeah, I think so my project I'm working on now, I've been trying to create an old lady. For some reason, I don't know why. I always draw old ladies, man. I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, like I've been trying to design this old lady and trying to put a personality together. And it's been fun trying to like filter through different designs. For me, what I always do, I have this process where I call it like my vomiting process. I just put out every single thing that comes to my mind for a design.
Yeah,
Then I go back in, try to filter it. I'm like, okay, what is her story? Is she gonna dress like this? Is she gonna wear this? Is this gonna be a kind of like outfit and stuff? Then I filter that. Then I do like a Frankenstein thing where I just pick, oh, I love the eyes of the first one I drew. I think I like the hair of the second one. Then I just do a Frankenstein monster thing.
yeah. Just do it, just piecemeal and see what works together,
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah. Then eventually, I think I'll land on something I like. And sometimes, just take a break if it's not coming through. Come
Yeah.
back to it.
What are the things that you do outside of like just drawing that help to inspire? Because we were talking about just other
Music.
activities that you do that kind of feed into your
Yeah,
art
I do
and
music. I do a lot
music.
of songwriting. I play my guitar,
Oh
or just
wow.
hang out with people, jam, write songs. It just juice up my creativity aside from drawing. Yeah, that helps a lot.
I saw Miss Omotunde here.
Hey,
Oh,
that's family.
definitely you have to come back on Omo for sure. Oh man, I love her.
She's
Uh,
amazing, man.
yeah, she is. She is amazing. We were talking about this community, the
Mhm.
community that we're in, being a small community, and
Yep.
everybody is like 3 degrees of separation from somebody else.
Yeah, you're gonna know somebody
You
that knows somebody, or you know somebody, man.
and you were talking about, my next week's guest. You're connected with
Oh
him,
yeah.
and just
Oh
all
yeah.
these connections. What has for you, because I
Mm.
know for me it's been very powerful building these relationships with
Yep.
creators. What has it been for you to build
Mm.
these relationships, work on these amazing projects, for some of these amazing studios, and even for yourself to help fill your ideas? What's it
Yeah.
been like for you?
I think it's been everything for me. Because again, I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. Most of the people I know working in animation were in the US and the UK and Canada, right? So all I could do was build relationship remotely, man. I've been
Hmm.
working remote since 2000 and what, 10 or
It's
something.
always been
Before
remote.
it's so like that's how I build my relationship, right? Like I've always been the guy that would reach out to me like, "Hey, I love your stuff, and I just want to ask questions. If I can, I'll ask. If I can't, it's fine. But I would follow up. I would always be like, um, engaging in your stuff, like really be part of your world.
Yeah,
I'm not the guy that would just reach out just to get something and disappear.
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
really try
yeah,
to build those relationship. So I think it's everything, man. I've had mentors that refer me to jobs and nothing comes out of it. And what, 10 years after something comes out, you have no idea.
yeah.
So relationship is like everything, even now, like meeting you, right? Like we've been chatting for a minute. Omotunde, we've been chatting for a while. We created a show together. We've met on different projects. So you never know. Relationship is everything for me, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh man, I
yeah,
tell you. And it's the thing that moves you.
yeah,
We were talking about, like, again, the time that we live in.
mm,
Obviously, the big elephant is AI and generative AI.
oh yeah,
That's a whole show in and of itself we can make. But I'm curious, as one, your thoughts, and two, your thoughts about how it might impact,
mm,
specifically character design and look
mm,
dev,
mm,
what you do. Obviously AI, touches a lot of different things, but I'm
yeah.
curious about your overall thoughts of generative AI and
Oh,
AI, and drill down into, do you feel like it's going to really, and has it made a real big impact from what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and that type of thing on
yeah,
your position and the things that you do specifically?
yeah. I mean, like, I've actually seen it being used in some productions I'm on. Like this is not like third party testimony. This is my own testimony. I've
Yeah.
been on projects where I have to like draw over AI prompts, which is
Mm,
it's
wow.
interesting. But I think it's I don't know. And it's such an interesting topic, but I just try to be very careful. But if I'm being honest, I feel I wish the AI tools are used in things that we need them to be
Yeah.
used for
Yeah.
in production, right? Like topology, I don't know, some
Oh, I
part of
tell people
rigging.
I love Photoshop's generative AI. Extended the background, trust me.
Like things like that, like help me instead of, because back in the days I have to like use the lasso tool to like select.
Yeah,
Just
try
do
and
that for
match
me.
it
Things
up.
like that.
No, I love it.
I love that. I want more of that. But like having it do the actual designs, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
It's
I feel like I guess I've kind of always had this thread, is it's a tool,
it's a
and like
tool.
any tool, there are always going to
Yeah.
be people that use the tool the wrong way
Yeah.
and not the right
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's I don't know, man. It's such an interesting thing because I remember the first wave of AI at the time was a lot of 3D artists using it to make concept for them to do 3D works, and they're like, oh, it's not gonna take 3D, and now it's jumped into 3D, and I'm like, where's this thing gonna end?
It's yeah. I mean, but again, you know, generative AI, whether you're for it or against it, my thing is it's always gonna, it's never gonna take the place of a human.
Yeah,
I don't care
yeah,
how good you
yeah,
are. I don't care how good the AI piece is. It's just never. That's just my
yeah.
personal
I think
opinion.
I think to add to that, right? Like, and that's why the rise of indie stuff is beautiful now because it's more of I want to see the artist telling their story, and I want to feel the humanity in the designs or in the creation,
Yeah.
right? So it's time for like creatives like myself to like start documenting their process. It's not like gone are the days of just doing a beautiful artwork for 2 weeks and just post it on Instagram, be like, hey, nah, man, nobody cares about that no more because
Yeah.
AI is gonna do a thousand, a
Yeah.
1,000% more
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's now like sharing your story about it, showing your process.
Process of doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I tell
it's. I think
people a
that's what
lot
we
that
appreciated
too.
more.
You see a lot of people, a lot of artists doing that now,
Yeah,
doing the behind the scenes of their
yeah,
work to just
yeah,
show, which
yeah,
again goes into my word of the year, reality.
yeah, man. It's like, whew, yo, he hit me, man.
Oh man. Uh Please forgive me if I pronounce this right. Chewy art. As a rigging artist, I rebuke the suggestion.
Hey, hey, hey. What I mean is like help you speed up some things, not take your job.
Oh man, where is, like I said, it's a tool for the right thing. Like ideation, I think it's great for
But-
ideation. If you
yeah,
got an
but here's the
idea,
thing. Like,
hash it out, throw it
I
out,
feel like,
use it. It's great for
yeah,
that.
I feel like people forget that AI has been around. It's not
Yeah,
new.
it's nothing new. It really isn't. I think Chat GPT and that kind of just made it seem they,
Yeah,
with the rise of Chat GPT,
it's not
kind of
new. It's
made it
just a
seem
tool.
new.
Yeah, it's just a tool. So like, as a rigger, I'd be like, I would love for like rigging artists like whoever that person is to like find ways to speed up their process with
Well,
the
they
tool.
do. That's what plugins.
That's what plugins do. So it's AI. I don't know, man.
That's what
But I mean, like
plugins
people do
are.
build the plugins and stuff, but
Yeah,
that's
that's what
what I meant.
plugins are.
Like, how can it speed up your process, not take your
Yeah,
jobs? No, not
yeah.
take your jobs.
And like
Because
I said,
rigging
I
is
don't think even good AI is not going to replace good
no,
good knowledge or discipline
no.
on the skill or the thing
Yeah,
that you're
like
doing. Like
like we're saying
AI will spit
earlier.
out a script, a screenplay, but if
Hmm.
it doesn't know how to craft it and it doesn't know how to put a
Yeah,
soul
like
into it,
the best AI stuff we see are like the prompts are created by creatives. Like
screenplays,
they
yeah, that know the structure of a
yeah,
story.
they know what to take out. Like because even if you use ChatGPT, the best results you get is when you like go back and like, oh no, like make this like this, do this like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
still the
Yeah.
input is still gonna be there.
Oh
So yeah,
man, that's what I tell people. If you're gonna have to be get better at prompting if you want to use AI.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like I said, you're still gonna need to know the process of.
It's so funny, and I never even thought about this before. It just came to me now. As a character designer, what makes my job the best is how much keywords I could take out from a conversation with the director. So if I'm talking to a director and it's like, oh, this character is very arrogant but loves to something, I just write out maybe loves to wear his boots. I just write that out and I have that when I'm creating my character design. Those are like my prompts in creating my character design
Yeah, yeah,
because those are
yeah.
the things. Those are like my key points.
Keywords, yeah,
Pretty
that
much
you.
it's pretty much like the same thing we do in AI. It's like the key things you want to see. It's
Yeah,
like you're directing. It's like art directing in a way. But I'm
yeah.
not saying AI is gonna take our jobs. I wish there's a way it could just function only as a tool because it's gonna help.
Well,
But
again, that comes down to the person using the tool. It is a
yeah,
tool, but it comes down.
yeah,
I think it comes down to the person that's using the tool.
yeah,
Whether they, like I said, want to use it the right
yeah, man.
way and ethical way, or they don't want to use it the right way.
Yeah, like
That's
I mean,
actually
I can only speak for myself, right? Like when I'm doing 3D stuff, my pain point is always topology. It takes too much time because I'm an artist. I just want to draw and like sculpt and move on to like the beautiful things. So if there's a way, there's a tool that can just help me.
And trust me,
That is
there are
like,
topology, retopology tools and plugins out there that make it easier for a person that doesn't like to do it. You
yeah,
know,
no, what I mean is like the way you could just put in stuff and make a full animation. Take that away. Just do my topology for me. Do it nice. Give me room to like really do the designs, you know? That's
uh,
for me. Maybe it's
well,
my selfish thing, but it's just what it is. It's for
when
me.
you're seeing younger, artists come in and they say, "I want to be a character designer," and look develop. What are the things
Mhm.
that you're seeing in them that you're saying this is what you should, focus on, or these are the things that you're finding lacking in
Yeah.
character artists? What are like the top three things that you would say and see?
Top three. Ay, ay, ay. I think the first one for me is the story. What's the story of the character? It's always missing. Because interestingly, I did a kind of like a mentorship one-on-one thing last week in Toronto, the animation festival. And I met a lot of students. And one thing I noticed to be a pattern was a lot of their characters don't have story. Like I can't see the story. They
So
have like
them
their
not
story in their
taking
head.
the time to, so it's them not taking the time for the backstory and really
Yeah. To
helping
like
that to
have
flesh
that
the character.
show. Yeah, because I feel like your characters should tell a story. It shouldn't just be a beautiful design. Because I mean, I've done that. I just design for design's sake. I don't care about the story. But
Hmm.
if you're designing for like a portfolio or something, your character should feel like it's part of a story and has those elements in the design. Another thing people miss too is like they don't detail stuff. And again, that ties back to story, right? Like if you know the story, then you can detail elements more. um, the third thing I'll say is they rush to pick the final thing. The beauty of character design is like refine it, find the
Refining it.
design, like really like take your time. You know, if you've done a design you think is great, leave it, come back to it. You see some things that are not making sense or some things you could polish. You know, I think those are the three things I would say. Not enough time to polish. Um, Story is always missing most of the time. So those are things I think people could touch on more for
Well,
sure.
we talk a little bit about just the education and
Yeah.
talk a little bit about just the preparedness of how
Yeah.
some schools are of really preparing
Yeah. 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 Oh
kids
yeah.
in the
Oh yeah.
actual studio. Do you find, because I guess I would think about that going into a place is, can I keep up with, I know that, I know what I know, but
Yeah.
am I keep up able to keep up with what's the pace of what's going on? Talk
Mm,
about the process, the general process when you're working like on a client project and at a
yeah.
studio, of the pace of getting a
Yeah.
character. They give you a brief and this is it, and the whole back and forth thing.
Okay.
Kind of talk a little bit about that as far as the process of
Oh
getting
yeah.
ready for that.
I think 90% of the time you get like a character bio and maybe like a list of things they want to see. So it's like a main character design, maybe some expressions and some poses. But what I love to do, if I have the opportunities, I try to get on a call with the director or the writer or whoever is gonna like approve the design and
Hmm.
just have a conversation with them about the character. So what I always look for is what are you really trying to say through this character, right? Like what part of the story is this character holding in the whole world of your imagination or something. So I try to then list out, for me, what I always list out is okay, what is the key word for this character? Is it fun? Is it sadness? Is it um curiosity? Is it adventure? Like what is the key word for that
Hmm.
character? If I get that out, then I can start building. I remember I was on a project with Sonny just a few weeks ago, and on the call, one of the conversation was like, "Oh, just have fun." That was literally the note. They were like, "Yo, Samson, just have fun," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna overthink anything. I just want to have fun for like 3 days." And I send a bunch of what I've done. Like I just do different things, and I send
Yeah.
it, and then we jump into the Frankenstein moment where it's like, "Oh, I like this. I think I like this head a lot. I like this hand a lot." And what I figured out, and I just started noticing this now, is if I'm working on a design for a week, the first 3 days,
Hmm.
I'm just vomiting stuff. I'm just dropping out a lot of stuff. But when it gets to the last 2 days, I feel like I start refining. I start knowing, okay, this is where this thing should be. Then on the last day, I have a very good design.
Yeah.
So that's always like my process. The ideal
Yeah.
process is you get it brief, you do your sketches. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. We talked about a lot of some of the stuff that, you've enjoyed and you've seen.
Yeah.
What are some of the characters that you've seen and you've looked at as like, man, that's a pretty cool design
Woo!
character. I love the way it came out. I mean, I know you liked a lot, obviously, the X-Men evolution in those characters,
Yeah.
but I mean, kind of recently, what are
Hmm.
some characters that have maybe come out in something
That is
recently that you've liked that is like, man, I like the way they did that and designed it.
that is interesting. Yo, I don't even know. Because I'm always saving cool designs every day. But I know I saw Operas recently, the new Pixar movie. And
Mm,
I really love the designs. I love how simple, like there's nothing new to design. It's just a frog or something, but they have character to it. They have story to the designs. So those
yeah,
are the things I think I really loved about Operas. I'm thinking now, which of the designs again? I
yeah.
saw the new Mario movie. I mean, I think that one was just so it brought up my Luke development side. I'm like, the textures is just
these,
insane.
these textures. Hey, for all you texture artists out there, uh,
Like the shapes are simple, but the textures are insane. So I'm
yeah,
like, and I always love that. I love simple designs with very, very detailed, surfacing. So I love that about the designs.
yeah.
I'm thinking of something else that stands out.
There's
Huh.
been a lot of there. Obviously, there's been
There's
a
so many
lot of
cool
great
stuff, man.
stuff. I mean, some of the ones that I just
Woo.
loved that were just, I love the way they did the characters, and it
Mm.
just kind of ushered in just obviously Spider-Man into Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was just kind of a groundbreaking thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
loved uh, Mitchell's and the Machines.
Oh
I love
yes.
the artwork and just the animation and the 3D. I love it. Kind of had this
Yeah.
painterly feel to it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not
I think
painterly feel to it and
yeah.
stuff.
I
Love
was trying not to mention those guys because they're like very on the nose. Artists would love them. So I was trying to find something else aside from that. But yeah,
no,
I
I
love
mean
like
the
I love
artwork
all
was
that
great.
hand painted stuff, like
Oh
the
man,
TMNT, those events.
Arcane,
Yeah.
obviously
Oh my
Arcane. When
god.
Arcane came out, that was another groundbreaking thing,
Woo.
and just the
Yeah.
style of it, and
Yeah.
just all of Fortescue's style
It's
is
insane.
just a style.
And
You got
they've
to
been
love.
doing it for so long. It's crazy
And
that we
hand
just
and it's just
everybody
hand
just caught up.
painted though. But that's the thing that just blows your mind when you see the behind the scenes of them painting. Oh man,
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
appreciation. You get appreciation. I gotta throw, man.
Yeah.
We're getting some fast and furious comments in here that I guess I want to throw in. We got a retopology. Chewy art. She's a retopology artist, so she says she's gonna have to rebuke that. She loves retopology. Your
We
your
love it
words
for
on
you, man.
words. I
But
tell you.
I mean, again, it's just for me, right? I don't love it. I don't
Hey,
like it
but
that much.
I say this: you have to love that thing that you do because
Yeah,
while I can get in and rig a character, I wouldn't want to sit and
yeah.
do that as a job, be a rigger.
I mean, like
I can do that, but I really wouldn't do that. And there are just some things that I can do on a project myself that I really wouldn't don't think
it's
I can do.
it's funny because what I even meant in the rigging aspect was not rigging at all. Rigging is an art. I'm not saying rigging is an art. I'm saying the tedious part of rigging, the tedious part, the parts that just it's just like things you could just automate. Those are the
Yeah.
kind of things I'm talking about.
Yep.
So for rethopology, for me, I have friends that are like one of the best rethopologists, artists, and stuff. But me personally, I'm not. I'm not gonna spend hours on rethopology.
Well,
I
I
just
mean, heck, that's why people love 3D because
yeah,
it does all the in betweens that a person doesn't have to draw. So
yeah,
you have an appreciation, which I do have an appreciation,
yeah,
obviously, and a love for 2D and 2D animation. But obviously, 3D, that's the whole thing. The computer
Yeah, it's the
does the
whole
in
thing and so on.
between and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it handles
Yeah,
all the
man.
heavy lifting. So, I want to make sure I get some things in here. Sony's bit Halo. Sony's films have been killing it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Sony's on the roll. Oh yeah, even Intergalactic. That was a good one too. Intergalactic. There's been so many. I want to talk about because we're gonna take a look at some of your work in a minute here and some of your IP
Sure.
and projects that you're working on. But I want to talk about a little because we this was another big thing we talked about, just the independent,
Yeah.
IP and your own ideas and your own stories and things,
Yeah.
and all these more diverse, different kind of stories
Hmm.
that you're starting to see, whether it's from Africa, whether it's from
Yeah.
China or Jamaica or wherever it's from. You're
Latin
starting to see
America.
this
Yeah.
these creators now. Um, what is the important or what importance do you place on just kind of controlling your own stories, your own IPs, or this again this time that we
Mm.
live in of all these channels and streaming services out there?
Yeah. I think it's so. Again, from my perspective, all the time, it's only my perspective. I know.
Always from
Yeah.
their perspective.
I started my career drawing characters I think belonged into like characters that I feel belong into franchises that were out there. So like X-Men, I was
Yeah,
designing my own X-Men characters. I've always been telling my own stories, but I I got into the system of like creating stuff to get into the industry.
yeah,
I got into the industry, worked in the industry for so long, still in the industry, but I forgot about the joy of creating my own thing for a while because then it became just creating stuff to fit into production and
oh
not
yeah,
like my own stories, right? So
yeah,
I'm so happy to see like the world is really appreciating like indie creators because what indie creation really means is your own story. Like, you're not trying to like create something that you think would fit into a studio or whatever. You're trying to tell your own story, things you believe in,
yeah,
something slightly more personal to you in a way. So I'm excited for that because again, I've been in the industry for 12 years. I feel like I've worked on all my dream projects already.
yeah.
There's still so many cool projects I love to work on. But I think for me personally, it's time to now start telling my own stories. You
Yeah,
know,
and like I
so
said, I
many
want
cool.
to take a look at a lot of
Oh,
the
thanks,
stuff
man.
that you're working on because it's some
Yeah,
amazing
this is.
illustration work. Tell us a little bit about this.
Oh yeah, this is a project I'm currently working on now. I think it's like it's taking what 70% of my time every time I'm doing anything creative. So this is Dukia. Dukia means treasure in Hausa, and interestingly in Yoruba, where I'm from as well, it means wealth and stuff like that. But the core concept of this story again ties to my own journey. Um, I was one of those kids that was doing art in a place where nobody nobody cared about it. Nobody saw. No, they're like, "What are you saying? You want to do this as your career? Show me somebody that has a career with it. That kind of thing."
Yeah.
Um, but this whole idea came up from a proverb that we say a lot back home. So the proverb goes, what you're looking for in Shokoto is in your Shokoto. There's a nice rhyme there. But what it means is what you're looking for far and wide sometimes is in plain sight.
Mm,
Like, so for me, everybody else felt like, oh, I should go be a doctor, be a banker, be an accountant, like be these things that is out there and is successful and great.
yeah.
But I knew I had art in me. I was creative. Nobody saw it till I started paying attention to it. Then they started seeing the light. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there's actually something there. So
Yeah.
that's what this story is about. It's about this little kid that grew up on a hill, and she has no idea that they've been mining for this treasure that's been promised to them for generations. She has no idea. But for her, she just sees this stone on the ground that actually glows when you pay attention to it. And nobody paid attention to her because they are all just focused on, like, oh, there's this gold under the ground and they've been mining forever. And that's what the whole story rolls around. It's like the
But
treasures
yeah,
around you that you don't pay attention to. Yeah. You can see in
and
the hill. Yeah. They've been
like I
mining that
said, and the
for.
drawings are so cute and so fun. They fit with it.
Thanks, man.
Awesome, awesome. And
Yeah.
we're gonna roll to this one as well.
Oh yeah,
I
this
approve.
is yeah, this one I'm creating with Amotunde. Interestingly, she's writing on this one. We're still trying to
Omar, you
refine
still
it.
on here? Say something, Omar, if you're still on here now.
Yeah, she's writing on this, man. Done so many cool work on this one. Um, we're trying to see how much we could still do with it and try to find good collaborators to bring it to life. Because
Yeah.
this is like a full-on series that we
Tell
plan
me
for
about
it.
the process, because I would think I think that's the best process. That's the best part of group projects, the
Yeah,
collaboration and
yeah,
the back and forth and the really
yeah,
fleshing out, with a writer such as Omo, and then putting, illustration. Tell us about
yeah.
just, your joy or your thoughts about the creative process of working with different people in different
It's the
areas.
best, man. It's the best, man. It's like there's so many things you could do alone, and there's so much more you could do with people, right? So I remember I had the idea and I started drawing stuff, but I I realized early that hey, man, you're not a writer.
Well, I mean, you get a lot of people though that feel like they gotta do everything, which hinders
Nah,
them from creating anything,
yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Um,
So I reached out to Omotunde, was one of the best writers we have in Nigeria when it comes to animation. And yeah, and we
okay,
were like, hey man, let's make this thing happen. So we started writing and you know recreating the whole concept, working things around. Bringing. She brought a lot more stuff than I would as an artist, right? So I feel like collaboration, as you have the word reality for the year, I've
yeah,
had collaboration for the last 2 years, and I'm still gonna hold on to that word because it's like there's so much more you could do. Look at the industry; it's not just one person.
yeah,
Even as an indie creator, you can still do everything yourself. You can do all the marketing and all the
yeah,
you can't do the whole thing. You still have to get people that are skilled in different things, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like collaboration helps. It helps bring the dream alive. Yeah.
yeah. And definitely keeps you sane too.
Exactly.
I gotta throw this
Yeah.
up here. Let me take this down here. Uh, Omo, hey, still here and totally with you, bro. I can't wait to do more. We really should
Yeah,
get
man.
together. Yeah, I should have both of y'all on. Y'all definitely both should come on. We need to
That
talk
would be
about
cool.
scaling y'all both on.
Yeah.
And talk about the project for sure.
Yeah.
But for you, is it tough coming
Hmm.
up with? I mean, is it or isn't tough coming up with like just a plethora of just different stories, or do you feel like I've got enough stories and ideas in the bank to
Hmm.
keep me
Yeah.
busy for a lifetime?
It's crazy, right? Because I always feel that pressure of like, yo, I just have too many ideas, man. I can't do everything. Or which one should I do first and blah blah blah. But again, man, I'm just a creative.
Yeah,
Like I always go back to when I started. I felt like I was way more creative than I am now. Because I wasn't bothered about anything. I was just
yeah,
designing stuff. I wrote
yeah,
more stories. I was actually a writer back then. Then I focused on character design. I forgot how to write
yeah,
or whatever. But I think find the best avenue to just create. Um, I struggle with, so personally, this is one thing I struggle with a lot. Which designs are just designs or which design has to be a story?
mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
which character is just a character? I just
yeah,
designed it for love. Or
yeah.
which one has to be a full-fledged story? That's one thing I struggle with. And I asked a
Yeah.
lot of other character designers this question.
Well, is it the one, because I'm not a character designer, but I would figure it would be the one that I guess as you're drawing it, the story just starts coming to you, or their backstory just starts coming to you, and this whole
Ah,
world starts coming
yeah,
to you.
it's crazy, man. I feel like all of them have something, man. All of them have something. All of them is always connected to something. But again, I think what helps me filter through is when I'm in like conversations. Again, I remember I was in a pitching conversation with a big exec, and we're just talking about different projects. And she was like, "Oh, like if money is out of the way, or like production or whatever is out of the way, what story would you like to tell right now?" And that was how the Dukia story actually popped up
Mm,
again, because I'm like, that is something I feel like has my story in it, has like a lot more personal touch.
yeah,
um so that's how I feel that things a bit more, because I feel like as artists you're really trying to say something
yeah,
with every single design. So
yeah,
that's how I
yeah.
feel. for now. Yeah,
I want to know about, because it's a tough thing that I don't think a lot of people kind of get, that
yeah,
even with a team, these things take a couple of years, to work through, and just keeping yourself motivated, and not
right.
just yourself, but a team. If you're
Yeah,
heading this project yourself, how do you keep other people passionate about, and motivated about the thing that especially if you're not paying them, everything
yeah.
like, that type of thing. Because I asked Frank this question,
Mm,
just, you know, obviously, he does pay, for some things, and obviously he's looking to pay, but, on the things that you do, even starting out, how do you kind of motivate and keep, a team
yeah,
motivated and people inspired over
yeah,
years of working on a
yeah.
project that they're only working on a small myopic
Small part.
piece of
Yeah,
it, um,
yeah.
to see the whole thing.
It's crazy because for my own project, like the Dukia project, I'm building a team and I'm still in the process. So I really don't have like a final answer. But I know in productions I've been in, I think the first thing that I know has kept me, because this is from my perspective as someone being on a project, is the vision of the project. And if it aligns with my goal, does it align with what I really want to do? Is it like something I think would be an add-on to my path
Yeah.
forward? So now that I'm working on my project, I'm trying to get people I think we align on something. So it's like, oh, you want to be a character designer, you don't have like a step into the industry. Hey, come on my project. I would pretty much like coach you, give you feedback like it's a production, and that could be your takeaway from the project. I
Yeah.
feel like things like that are way better than money. Um, of course, I'll pay as much as I can, but I think the value you get from that is priceless. I still work with a lot of creators where that's I know what I want to get from them, and I
Hmm.
try to you know offer my services to get that as well.
Yeah, I mean, having definitely on the job apprenticeship, and that is, it goes a long, long, long
Yeah, it
way.
changes everything.
I'm gonna throw this in here, Mister. This I keep wanting to put this. I'm gonna put this down here so we can see it. Yes, we both can come on the
Yay,
show. All right, you heard it from one. We're gonna have to work that out. Both of you and
that'll be nice.
Segun are gonna come on the show. we're gonna
We'll talk about our projects in detail. Yeah,
that
that'll
was
be nice.
that was a fun episode. She's something else. I will say that.
She's so cool, and she's
She
like, she
is.
definitely knows
She
the
is.
she knows what I'm saying, like what it feels like being one of few people doing what you want to do back
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But again, that's the thing that just inspires me. Seeing all these creatives, from all over the world, just
yeah,
stepping up, creating, and not letting the fact that they're not at a studio or
hmm,
working for one of the big five or big three, not let that stop them from
yeah,
getting stories out and working
yeah,
on creative projects and all of that. Man, that's what inspires me. This is
yeah.
Skybound. This is
Oh
tell us a little bit
man.
about this Skybound.
Woo-wee. So Skybound Hunter is like, it's a very dear project to my heart because I'm creating this one with my best friend from when I started drawing. Like we've been friends for like maybe 20 something years now. Like we literally started drawing with it. This is sound very cheesy, but we started drawing with where we go buy paper to sketch. And he was the guy I was talking about that we go find comic together.
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
guy. He's an amazing artist. John Zeno is one of the best sci-fi artists in Africa, man. He's insane.
It's nice.
Um, but yeah, like so Skybound Hunter was a story that we created from his own upbringing as well. So his son name means Oporikwo, and Oporikwo means strong man. So his lineage are like warriors and hunters that actually defended their village when back in the days. So he's from a lineage of hunters, but he's a concept artist. And I'm like, yo, you broke your lineage so bad. so
Oh man.
so the story is about like rebellion in a time in Africa. So we're creating a fictional world where they're greedy miners that went to mine for, it's pretty much like gold, but we call it the orolite. And they
Hmm.
broke the earth crust, and these creatures started coming out. And the interesting thing with the story is like these creatures have like raw. They think of it as gold. They have raw gold on their body, so it's like bounty hunters that go to like hunt for these creatures, get bounty for it, and also get gold from the creature itself.
Yeah.
And this kid that actually realizes that he's from a lineage of hunters from ancient times and trying to balance that.
Tell me, what have you found out? Because again, creating your own stuff,
Yeah,
obviously, this is something that you have to get better at is
yeah.
pitching it. What
Oh yeah.
have you found out about, or what have you discovered about the pitching process and just going in and selling your story?
I think it's so tricky, man. So because I've pitched, I feel like I've pitched a lot in different countries, right? So one thing I know for sure is they want, whether you're pitching to, want something that they believe will make them money. And so that's, for me, that's like a big thing for me,
Mhm.
because then I don't know if you really like my story or you just want to make
Yeah.
money from, so but anyway, so that's one thing. But what I've learned so far is they really care about your personality as well. Like, how passionate are you about this
Yeah.
character? How passionate are you about this story?
Yeah.
Because I would, yeah, like I would pitch all my story differently because I have different connections to them. And I do have projects that I just want to sell. I don't really care if you change things. I'm just selling like an idea or
Yeah.
something. But I think, again, and that's why I'm happy for the rise of indie stuff, because I think it changes the conversation, right? Like, I don't have to prove to you. I can only show the best of what I have for my story to those that really care about it. And that's why I love the indie side of things.
Yeah.
But for big corporations, you have to like prep stuff, change stuff as much as they want sometimes. Um, Another big thing I know that's happening in the pitching phase now is gone are the days of just pitching documents, pitching cool arts. It's now pitching like what, a 1 minute teaser or a
Yeah.
pilot episode. And I'm like, where am I
Performance.
gonna see money to make that? What?
Well, they want as much assurance as they can before they give
Yeah.
you millions of dollars. Because I would always watch, which I love, which is what I love about, I guess, Pixar, is their
Yeah.
thing is they're always come from story. Their
Yeah.
first thing is story, story,
Yeah.
story first.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I used to love to watch their videos because they would show the director with post-it notes
Yeah.
pitching, and they would
Yeah.
say, "Hey, if they don't see you're animated about your own animation, they're not going to
Yeah.
get
Then there's a
behind the
problem. Yeah.
character."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're in
Yeah.
there acting out the whole scene as
Yeah.
if it, is actually made,
Yeah.
and
I
just
think,
showing that passion.
yeah, it's the passion, right? Like, because I go to a lot of pitches just to watch other people pitch and stuff. And it's just a passion, man. How much do you know this story? And how much do we care about this story? Like, why should I even listen to your story,
Yeah,
kind of
if
thing?
you're not
Yeah.
enthusiastic or sad or you're not feeling anything from it,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
likely
Pitching is a whole beast, man. It's a whole thing.
it's yeah. I think that is, and again, it goes back to the point of, do you feel like, I guess, higher institutions now should get better at kind of the business
I
side
think so.
of being a creative?
Yep. 100%. Because it's changing every single time. Because again, one of the reasons why I went to art school was to understand what the system is like. What is this thing really like? One big takeaway for me is I feel like if it's a 2 year course, it's beautiful to spend like 7, 8 months doing the skill building, but the rest of the time, man, refine yourself as an artist and refine yourself as a business person. As a creative, like build on your networking skills, build on your people relationship kind of skills, well, build on your, what's your voice as an artist as well. Because like, if you don't really love what you're doing, when you don't get the jobs, how do you have the fuel to stay alive? you know
That's
like, there's
true.
so many times I call it the drought season, right? Like, how do you survive the drought season? You're not gonna get jobs all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, how do you stay creative? Can you create your own project while that's happening?
Yeah.
Those are the things I feel like schools should definitely tap into more.
Yeah, or I mean, and if you're not getting it from your school, it's something that you have to do yourself. It's
Oh
funny
yeah.
that you mentioned that because it's kind of a project that I've set for myself
Mm,
this year is a project a month because it just
nice.
gets me doing,
Nice.
creating something. So, you have to do it. If you're not getting
Yeah.
fed or fueled from your job, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to find
You have to
yourself,
stay active.
you know,
Yeah.
you,
That's one. I don't have regrets in my career, but one thing I wish I did more was spend more time on my projects alter. I got caught up in like creating stuff to just fit into production or get hired at this studio or that studio, but not build on my
uh,
writing skills, build on my story skills, build on my research skills. I wish I
yeah,
did that more. Because at the end, I feel like that's all we're all trying to do, tell
yeah,
stories.
yeah.
So build on skills that help me tell stories
But
better.
it's never too late. I would say it's never
Oh
too
yeah.
late, and that goes into what we were talking about earlier as far as relationships and friendship.
Yep.
That's like I said. I'm not a. I'm not a. Although I have stories and ideas, I'm not a script writer, screenwriter.
Yeah.
So having friendships with Omo and people
Oh
like
yeah.
Omo that are already versed in writing a story, I know I
Yeah.
can go to Omo if I had questions say, Omo, I have this question about how you're laying
Yeah.
out for this and this and this.
Yeah.
I know I can go to her because we built a friendship and connection and relationship. So that's what I
Exactly.
mean as far as this
And you,
connection with
and you
people.
could you could exchange skills, right? Like say someone like me and Omo, if she has a story, I'm of course a guy to design the stuff. If I have a story, she's
Yeah,
gonna help me write,
yeah.
So it's like, how do you create those kind of relationships? That's
Relationships,
yeah,
what I do. Hey, if you're like I said, a writer and you're not a graphic artist or
yeah,
working on a video or something like that, hey, that's I know Don. This is what he does. How can I have a question
exactly.
or can you help me? That
Exactly.
type of thing is where
Yeah.
relationships, friendships, and
Yeah,
connections,
man. Because
come
and
together.
again, it helps your story, makes it richer, right? Because they can see interesting things you're overlooking in your stories and point that out and make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, what's been the best advice that somebody has
I
given you that's really, you know, you find yourself, you go back to that serves you, that, you know, helped you?
I think it's definitely never stop creating, and it's so cheesy, but it's the truth. Never stop creating for the love of it. Like just create, and I feel like the best thing comes from that. I feel like when you create without any pressure or any goal of like, oh, I'm creating this to get a studio, I'm creating this to make a story. Just create freely. Just create freely. Don't overthink it. Just always create. Find time to always create something new. Find time to always create something new. It trains you, refines you, it gives you more opportunity to actually try out things more than you will in production. Because if you do that in production, you could get fired. If you're like you're on crunch time and you're trying out stuff, yo, we're not trying stuff now. Just
Well,
but like find time to create your own thing. I remember it was John Neverest that told me this, and this is like so many years ago. It's like just find time to always create things you love. And
yeah,
I try to do that as much as possible. Funny enough, like the when I draw, the things I love drawing the most are like dead trees, which is so crazy.
yeah,
But
I can see.
I love drawing trees and just like telling stories with trees. I post them once in a while, but those are things I really love drawing for myself, and I feel like it really inspires me. So always try to create every single chance you have. And if you feel like you're not creative, just do something else.
Yeah,
Your designs is not gonna save anybody's life, man. You're not a doctor. Just chill.
yeah.
Give yourself
Well,
room. Yeah. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
man, and you guys know how I always drop a bomb when my guests drop bombs and nuggets. Got to. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's so easy, because that's what happened to me, which is why I've
Hmm,
set myself this project. It's so easy to get
nice.
lost in the work,
Yeah,
and
so
you
easy, man.
lose your creativity of just the fun of creating something.
Yeah.
And I found
Yeah.
that within that fun, it inspires me on another thought of something else. Oh, okay, let me write this down so I don't forget. I can
Exactly.
move on to it,
Exactly.
type of
Exactly,
thing.
man. Just like do it for fun. I know everybody has different realities and stuff, but find that space to just create for fun and
You
just
got
like
to.
express freely through
You
it.
got
Yeah.
to. I mean, in unless you're, if you're working for a company, unless your job is really fueling that creativity, okay, I get it. That type of thing. It's fueling it. But if you're in a kind of repetitive job that's
Yeah.
the same thing and you're creative, then
Yeah.
it's important to
Yeah.
do stuff outside of that because
Oh,
you miss
100%.
so much. I was talking
100%.
I was talking with a designer,
Mm,
um, and she worked for this company for years. It was a brand company. She had worked for them for like 10 or so years,
mm,
but suddenly found herself on the job market,
mm.
because she
Oh
got
yeah.
let go. And she was
Happens so
saying,
fast.
man, I've been so used to dealing with this colors, these fonts, this thing, this software. I suddenly now out, and now all these skills that I've just let go by because I wasn't,
Yeah.
updating my skills or really pushing my
Yeah.
skills at the job type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's an important thing that you got to do. You know.
Yeah, man. Like you always have to stay alive as a creative. You don't want to just be working in the industry alone and not create stuff for yourself. Just create stuff for yourself for fun. I feel like everybody has that point where we're just doing stuff for fun. I mean, adulthood comes in, life comes in, but still try to just squeeze in that time because it's gonna help you in the long run. It's so crazy. Most of the cool jobs I've done, projects I've been on,
Mm,
90% of them, the jobs I get them because they see something I've done for fun. It's
yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
most strangest
Well,
thing.
and that goes back to again, just creating stuff and posting stuff because what we were saying as far as
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
most companies, they're looking for creators and content. So if you're
Fresh.
posting just stuff that your personal project, they're going to
Yeah.
resonate that with
Oh yeah.
more than okay, he's just regurgitating this
Exactly.
illustration or
Exactly.
regurgitating that
Yeah.
illustration. You know.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of productions, and the first thing they always say, we're finding like a fresh take. We're finding a fresh perspective. We're finding you're not gonna have a fresh perspective if you're in the wheel. You gotta like step out of that and just do something for fun. That's how you get the fresh things going. But yeah,
Oh man, and again, what I just enjoy, seeing, especially with all the creators, but just the creators coming out of Africa,
oh yeah,
you know, Esther, with her stop motion. I don't know, man, she's bringing
I really
I
want to
love
meet her,
stop
man.
motion. So just all these new tools and new
Yeah,
stories that are going to be coming out and just new ways
yep.
of telling these stories is what I think I enjoy. And I know Bit Halo threw in here, which was a cool one. Blue Eye Samurai was
Oh
another
man,
cool
woo,
animation. If you haven't watched Blue Eye Samurai, you should check that out on Netflix. It's a very, I think
so good.
the season, the new season should be out or is coming out.
Yeah,
Season
I
two.
think season 2 is in the works. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the works and it's coming out soon. But that
Oof,
was just a amazing, amazing
it
style.
is.
So
It is
you're
beautiful.
seeing just. I think what I love with these new tools is creators are experimenting with their stories and the tools and just seeing what just
Yep,
touches them or
yep.
resonates with them and putting
They're
it
just
out
having
there.
fun. You're just having fun, man.
Oh
And they're
man,
creating new skills, new pipelines and new tools and just having
yeah.
fun.
I think
Yeah.
I think another big boon for
Mm.
independent creators, not that everybody's going that way, was when Flo won the Oscar. That was such
Blender,
a
right?
different. It was such a one independent
Yeah.
film, but it was
Yeah.
such a different kind than
Yeah.
Pixar, the typical Pixar, Sony stuff, and they didn't have any audio. There was no
It just
audio.
shows
It
like
was just,
I don't even
there was no dialogue. So that just, I mean, it just tells you right there a well told story.
it's crazy. Like it's I don't know, man. I I wish I could probably ask the director if he did some pitching rounds and what the feedback he got on pitching that would have been. Because I don't know
Well,
what
I
that would have
mean, from what
been.
I've seen of his interviews, one, that was his first time working with anybody all the stuff he's done before, he's done himself. That was his
Crazy.
first time working with anybody, from what I heard. Two, I hear most of the stuff was rendered on his
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah. No, I
So
mean, like, technically, you could still see it's still not like up to the
it's not up to
crazy
that.
standard, but he
But
did the job.
I think the thing, I think a lot of what helps indie, obviously, projects now is social media.
Oh yeah,
Because I was talking about this on it wasn't an animated film, but it was a live action film,
right.
horror film. And it didn't get, I mean, it wasn't like really big play, but I came across it on Facebook, the trailer on
Mm,
Facebook, and I just thought it was an interesting horror film. It was
okay.
told from a pet dog's perspective. It
Ooh,
was called
ooh. I
Good
want to know the
Boy.
name.
It was called
Good boy.
Good Boy. Look it up.
I'm
And
checking that
it's
out for
it's a
sure.
horror film told from the pet dog's perspective. And I just thought, I was just, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah,
And the
that sounds.
trailer was
That sounds
just amazing. But it was a limited, it was a small budget film.
fun.
But the trailer went viral, so they expanded.
Oh yeah,
They
easy.
expanded the run. So that's what I mean as far as, I think, social media and
It's
how
powerful.
the groundswell of what, obviously people can put behind a
Yeah,
project can really
yeah,
do for a
yeah,
project.
yeah. Because I feel like it's changing now. Before it's like what, spend 4 years, 5 years, make a movie. Everybody's like, oh, crazy, or you don't even know if they love it. But now it's like make a teaser or a pilot, test it out, see what the
Test it
reactions
out.
are. See what's working, and you build on that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so happy for the new wave of indie
Yeah.
creations, man.
And you
I'm
got these
excited.
platforms now, such as Kickstarter,
Exactly.
GoFundMe, that can help, just get these little teaser
Yep.
trailers out
Yep.
there and get people behind it. So that's
Yeah.
what I mean as far as, man, it's an amazing time if you're the creative type that has
It is.
ideas and has the
It is
passion and drive
100%.
to put behind it. Now,
Yeah. It
again,
is.
you got to have the passion and drive to put behind it, but you're not limited or capped by what you can do and where you can go with all
Nothing is
these,
stopping you, man. Like,
channels.
you don't even have to have the whole thing figured out. Show the
No,
process.
yeah.
Like for my short film, I've been documenting like all my processes, and I'm gonna start posting from next week, just to show where I'm at and what I'm looking to get and where I'm going. Just to show the process. And I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like that's what AI can't do, and so I'm
Yeah.
gonna
One,
lean on what I can do.
and I think one, it only increases your value because
Yeah,
people see the work that goes into it. That's why
yeah.
I love watching the behind the scenes of stop motion because you really get
Mm,
an appreciation for what they do.
it is crazy.
There's a
Like,
guy
I'm
I
always
follow.
blown away.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm
I'm thinking
always
about
blown
getting
away.
him on here. He does stop motion, but I follow him, Kevin Perry. Really super. He's worked at Leica, so he's done
Oh,
stuff for
nice.
Leica and in stop motion. But he's big into now showing the behind the scenes of how he does all his stop motion
Crazy.
campaigns.
Nice.
And I'm like, man, if you want to get an appreciation for a craft,
Yeah, stop
watch
motion is.
stop motion animators
Yeah,
or 2D
whenever I watch
animators.
the behind the scene, I'm like, the patience, man. It's crazy.
But
Yeah, but
man, that just tells you if you have a good story and you put the work behind the craft, man, you can produce some amazing stuff. Because
yeah, you could.
I like people like, and that's why I love directors like Guillermo del Toro that really push. They're not locked into a certain like live action. They're all about the story and what
Story. What's the best
medium,
way?
yeah,
Yeah,
what medium is best way to tell it or the most
yeah,
interesting way to tell it.
yeah.
And he's got a great feel for that. I would love to get him on.
And
Guillermo,
it does.
if you watch this or catch this, Guillermo, anybody knows Guillermo?
Oh yeah, it'll be nice to actually
I'd
hear
really
his
love to get him
story and
on
stuff.
here
It's gonna
for
happen,
sure.
man. Fingers crossed. It's gonna happen.
Oh man, everybody just tuned in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to forget never mean to forget my guests. All of you tuning in, man. We've been having a fun conversation, Segun, Samson, and I.
Yeah,
But
man.
I can appreciate you all jumping in and tuning in. Hopping into the conversation. We've been talking about a lot of different stuff. Uh, creative wise, where do you see as we bring this kind of train into the station? What are your
Yeah.
hopes for the future, and where do you see like the industry right now? Obviously, the industry is feeling it,
Hmm.
but where do you see it in the future, and when coming down the
Well,
pipe 2, 3 years, even like
I
into this year?
I really wish like big companies like Disney and other guys, like what Pixar does with their what's it called, short circuit or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
they're short sparks. Yeah,
yeah. I hope for a day where they create like a platform where people outside Pizza could submit their their stories and stuff in there, and then they can fund it to make the films. You know, like create the backup to help people. Because and I see the future of indie being crazy. Like a lot more people will feel more encouraged to create their own stuff. Um, Pitching rooms will feel a lot more different. People will be more confident with their projects, and the conversation will be different. And you're not trying to prove yourself. You're trying to tell a story and get people that believe in you to make that
yeah.
happen. Those are the future I'm really excited for. Excited for more African storytellers to pop up. I feel like there's so many beautiful stories, man. So many cool proverbs. Because I've just been diving into proverbs for my research and my project. I'm like, I can't wait for more stories on this that people here they don't even think about things like that. But these are things we grew up with, like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many interesting cultural stuff that are so unique and beautiful. So I hope like in the next 5 years, like more boom from African stories, more platforms that encourage more African stories, and just like Latin America,
It's
South
a
America,
plethora. Like I said, there are a
so
plethora
many
of
interesting
stories
cultural
out
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
Uh, he's I'm trying to get him on as well. And we've talked Bobby Rubio. He's worked for
Mm.
Pixar and Disney, but he's and actually he was in his short was part of the Pixar shorts. He did a short
Oh,
called Float. Um,
flow. Oh yeah,
Float. No, not Flow.
interesting.
Float. FLO.
Float. Oh,
Yeah,
that's the.
FLOAT,
Okay.
and it's about his son. His son has, I think,
Oh,
autism. His son has autism, and so it was about kind of his son. But
yeah.
he's working on a because he's part Filipino. He's Filipino, so he's working on Filipino animation with Filipino folklore and stuff. So you're starting to
Nice.
see all these creators that
Oh yeah.
work at these studios
Oh yeah.
start to say, I've got my training now. I know how to put these
Yes.
stories together. I have stories in my head that I want to tell. I have
Yeah.
friends that I've worked with and connections that I've worked with.
Yes.
Let me see what I can bring to light, type of thing.
That
That's
is
what's
that is
really exciting for
that
me.
is literally what I'm doing now, and that's what I feel like the next 5 years will be for me, because I'm stepping more into building my filmmaker side a bit more, because I feel like I've built the design side a lot. I
Yeah.
just want to fuel the filmmaker side a bit and get the
Yeah.
right people around. I'm taking courses around that space, and I just want to see what I'll evolve to be. It could
Okay.
work. It could not
I,
work. It is what it is.
I mean, like I said, it's and I tell people this too because I don't, which is why I try to have like I don't limit it to artists or directors or writers or storyboard
Right.
people. I have people, just production people or
Yeah.
HR
That's nice.
people in the industry, because it takes all of these people to put something together.
It
If
does.
you're not a
It does.
producer, you're going to need
Yeah.
somebody that's produced animation to
Yeah.
understand the pipeline. If you're
Yeah.
not a person that's handled HR or managing and bringing in
Yeah.
people for animation or something like that, animation, the industry needs HR people. If you're not
Oh
an
yeah.
artist and you're a people person, that's an
Yeah.
avenue. But you love
Yeah.
animation, that's your avenue. So there's
It's so
these things that you don't have to think are the main three. I need to be an animator or artist or this or that to get into the
yeah.
industry because
It's
it needs
it's
everything.
it's beautiful you said that, because I had one of the most interesting conversation last weekend. I was doing the mentorship thing. I thought everybody that's gonna come are gonna be artists and stuff. And a production manager came to my table and she was like, yeah, she wanted to just get a perspective on the creative side. What do you guys look out for from a production manager? And I was like, this is new. And it was just cool to like give like feedback on what artists really want, or what gives us the room to create freely, so
I mean, there's they need everything. If you're and like I said, if you're a chef and you love to cook, animation studios, film studios, they need
yeah,
production people to get catering. There's
we
always
gotta
people.
eat.
There's always a way in there if you
Yeah,
want to get
man.
into the industry. Miss
Yeah.
Chewy Art, I think Disney did. Yeah, they're doing. I think that's
Oh
where
yeah.
like Kizazi Moto, they're
Yeah.
partnering
I
with. I
I
don't know
worked.
if they're necessarily
Yeah.
that was necessarily like somebody that worked with. I don't
Well,
know.
I worked on the Kizazi Moto. I worked on, I think, about three of them. There are 10 shots. So I worked on it. I know the production. I mean, that was what it was, but I'm just saying I want more. We want more
Yeah,
of
and
that.
I
We want
think
more.
and I
But
think,
yeah,
which
Kizazi was
is
good.
what a great thing I think I liked about what Disney did. Obviously, I'm hoping they're going in to really help the infrastructure and really, just do it and not kind of take over that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it
Mm,
gives, Africa and Nigeria and some of the areas, if a base to start with to
yeah.
understand that, okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, like what I just said,
Yeah.
learn the tools. We know this.
Yeah.
We got the resources. We got our stories. We
Yeah.
got the distribution. Let us run with it, type of thing. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that Disney is really working to kind of
Yeah. I
break
hope
out of
they
their
do more.
mold. Obviously, Disney's been around for ages, and everybody knows kind of the Disney format. So for them, it's a good thing that they're
Yeah.
trying to broaden themselves. And,
Yeah.
obviously that's something that they're not going to be able to stop anyway because of the rise of just indie
Exactly. It's taking
creators.
over,
So,
man. Indie's taking over. But yeah, like thanks for mentioning the Kizazimoto. That's like a good example. I hope they do more. Like I would love to see a
oh
Latin
man, like
America.
Kizazi Moto, Yanu, there's so
Yeah,
many coming
yeah,
out,
yeah.
from there. It's just
It's
like I said, the
beautiful.
creator. It's a beautiful thing to see, and like I said, it just
I I mean
shows
I was
you.
opportune to work on all those projects, and it's been fun to like contribute to all those projects. I just hope for more and more and more. There's so many stories,
Oh
man.
man, I can
There's
only
so many
imagine
stories.
the environment, just the collab. And that's what I mean. People don't get it. Well, unless you're a creative and in that environment, the energy that you
Oh,
get when you're
whew,
working around really creative
yeah.
people, and man, you're just firing,
It
and
changes
things are
everything.
going back and forth, and
Yeah,
it's working. Um, is it's nothing like it,
I
And
know,
then
man.
you see
The
the end
best.
result and the work that you've all put in, and the time and energy, and just
Yeah,
wow, people receive it.
I
Man,
can't
man,
wait.
man. This has been, like I said, like I was telling you, we time goes by quick. We're already rolling an
Very
hour and a
fast.
half.
But it's been
uh,
fun, man. Like,
this has
um,
been a fun one, and definitely I hope. Well, I already got it. Almost said, y'all doing it too. So I'm
we'll make
holding.
it happen.
Yeah, I'm holding you and Omo to what you said. We're gonna do a
Yeah,
dual episode. But this has been fun, and like I told you before, I don't get through half of the questions
I
because
know.
you see how it goes. It's just it's just it's just a conversation thing.
No, man. I'm so happy, and I I'm just looking forward to the next 5 years, like you said. Like I think I'm actually gonna write down what I think I want to see the next 5 years and see what happens. Because it's gonna be interesting.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and I hope that you keep the color of motion as a part of it.
Oh yeah.
Like I always say, your
It's
family now and anything that you're working on.
yeah,
Please
man.
come and promote it. That's what
I
this
can't wait.
platform
It's
is
so
for.
it's so funny because I'm starting a company soon with my wife, and it's called People of Colors, Couple of Colors, and so we're connected. So you have color emotion.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
have Couple of Colors, so we're linked. We're linked.
Oh my god. Let me throw this out. Maybe it's easier to jump onto a movie trade. So before external companies come in, we could all, and that's what I was talking about.
I want to connect with you.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about as far as Africa as a whole, the industry.
Yeah.
Is it our is it possible, or do you think it's possible for the industry to really grow if you got separate countries working in a silo or supporting or not supporting. Like like what I asked, do you feel like it, and maybe too, you can think about this as well. Do you feel like there needs to be a governing body of
Yeah.
the industry
I really,
in
I
order for
really
it to
hope
be?
so. I really hope that happens at some point. I feel like we need that because then I always tell people, and I use this analogy, like if you're shouting alone in the pit, people could hear you or they might not. But if you're like 50 or 20 there, they're gonna hear you guys because you're
Yeah,
louder,
and
right?
I think
So,
that's what I see the issue as is in
collaboration.
there's too many chiefs, there's too many cooks in the kitchen for
Yeah.
this to really work, and
Yeah.
for Africa as a country to really rise up to the position that
Yeah.
it should be, because
I
it's
know I know some studios are really trying to make that happen. But it's just again, I feel like what the last comment was, we need to create stuff together more. Um, but it's just again, you need funding to do that, right? And I know for South Africa, most of their funding is tied to South Africans.
yeah.
Because I've been on projects that I'm like, oh, like you need to be in South Africa
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and
So
that's the thing too, because again, you get into I'm sorry, you get into resources. Obviously, different areas have
yeah,
better resources than others, and South
yeah,
Africa is kind of that well known. They got
yeah,
Triggerfish and some of the other bigger
yeah,
ones down there, and type of thing. So you start to get into these more rural areas. That's what I mean. It's this there's just general infrastructure that needs to be done
yeah.
as a
It's
whole, I think, before
yeah,
anything
I agree.
substantial.
I do agree 100%. But I don't know. I don't know. I hope again, maybe in the next 5 years that happens.
Hey, we'll see. Like I said, I think as new creatives are starting to push it, that's what's going to
Yeah,
do it. Indie creators and these creators now are going to
yeah,
start pushing it more.
yeah.
And with
Again,
this,
like for my project, I'm trying to bring on a lot of like young creatives I know from like Africa, from South Africa, from South America. I'm just trying to bring out a lot more voices to my project and try
oh
to use it
man,
as a platform as well. You know,
so I definitely see it happening soon.
yeah,
You got creators like you got creators like Omo,
yeah,
Esther. You got all
Kofi,
these
yeah,
creators now that are just putting out some amazing stuff.
yeah.
As I said, this has been this has been a great episode. It's been a fun episode.
Thanks,
I
man.
cannot wait to have you and Omo come back on, because I know it's going to be off the chain. But you guys, I cannot thank you enough for hanging in there with us. Make sure that you connect with Segun for sure. I only showed a little bit of his work. Check out his ArtStation
Oh
page.
yeah,
You see the type of work that he does. It's
thank you.
amazing illustration work and look that work. Connect
Thanks,
with
man.
him on LinkedIn. That's where I connected with him at. But you definitely want to reach out and connect with him for sure. All this stuff will be on the show notes. So if you haven't, or if you don't catch this in, make sure you hop on over to the playlist when it's up on there and connect. All this information will be there. All this great information will be there. But again, this has been a
Man,
blast, Segun.
thank
This has
you.
been a
This was
blast.
so much
Uh,
fun. Very insightful for me as well because I need to go plan what the next 5 years is gonna be like.
but
Yeah,
hopefully,
man.
guys, we're definitely we're not gonna wait 5 years to have them back on. So we'll have them on
Hold
way
on.
before 5 years. But if you can, if you can hang out in the green room for a second while I
Sure.
close out the show, I
Gotcha, man.
appreciate it.
Oh
But
man. Thank you
everybody,
so much.
again, please help me thank again our very special guest, Mr. Segun, for stopping by and being a part of the show. Hang out in the green room, Segun, while I close this puppy out.
Okay, man.
Man, oh man, this was a great one, boy. Oh man, this makes my weekend such a great weekend. I always have a great time. Chewy, yeah, the discussions like this help more creatives. That's the goal, to help more creatives and to be a resource for creatives and such as yourself and others, and to inspire. So I can't thank you enough. Thanks, Segun. She says, I cannot thank you enough. Segun, for stopping by. And you, the viewers, I cannot thank you as always. Like I said, I can't just do this without my guests, of course. It's you, the viewers, that make the show as well. This was an amazing episode, a fun episode. These kind of episodes, I don't do much work. I just sit and talk, and it goes by quick. And next week is going to be no exception. Like Mr. Segun said, he has a connection with next week's guest, so you're definitely not going to want to miss it. Mr. Oyedel Elegba. I try not to say it fast. I'm trying to get myself into saying it slower because I pronounce it better. Oyedel, I'm going to do this again. Oyedel Elegba, CEO and founder of Spoof Animation out of Africa. I'm looking forward to it. His animation studio, what they're working on. Like I said, Segun has a connection with them as he does with Omo. So, like he was saying before, he was looking at my guest list. He's like, "Man, you talk to everybody I know." I was like, "I've talked to a few people over a couple of hundred episodes. Yeah, I've talked to a few people." I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Please don't let this be the last time. Definitely, like I said, we will be back here next week. Appreciate you as well. I hope everybody has a great weekend, has a productive week. I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Cheers, everybody.